Yes, there we are. We are recording. Katie Webster, what's going on?
DT Rayner, nice to see you.
Yeah, man, I'm into that. DT Rayner. It's DT Rayner here on Numeracy Day. Numeracy Day, yeah, big deal. Do they do Numeracy Day in the States?
They might, but I don't know. I really don't know. That's a good question.
Well, do you know what, everyone? Carl, although he does have the American accent, you grew up all over the place, didn't you?
Yes, I was in Pakistan, Singapore, Cyprus, and Taiwan.
Whoa. I bet Taiwan was amazing.
It was. I was very lucky to be there. Very good time. Very cool place.
That's a cool place. Right. Enough waffle. Let's get to rules. Like, pause when you want. Now, I spoke to a teacher the other day and they were like, oh, I didn't realize we could pause. That like changed everything for us. Well, you can whenever you like. Don't pause too early. If you get really far behind, that's absolutely fine. Don't pause too early. It's not a race or anything like that. Number 2, KTW, what is it?
Make sure you get your swag, and the way you get your free stuff from us is finish these challenges, let your teacher know, and as Dom always says, pester them mercilessly.
Yeah, exactly. Pester mercilessly. And then what are we doing? We are number 3 is if you go and teach your skills to other people in your school, then you are an Adobe leader and you get VIP swag, which is all very nice. You can choose. There's like A4 notebooks, there's coloring pencil sets, there's glue sticks. Maybe that's it. Right. Let's have a look at what we're doing today. KTW has brought us up a smorgasbord of creative things. Right. If you want to get to this page, you need to go to bit.ly/numeracy express. We've also sent it out to your teachers. You can also use your camera app if you're on that kind of thing like me, and use the QR code. Scan that, scan that, scan that. Right, let's go down. Number 1. Do you know what, Carl? You have completely nailed it. These challenges, they're absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Why did you choose a magic one?
I learned it as a kid, and I thought it was so neat. And I've actually done it numerous times, and it's really a fun and surprising trick. So I think everyone, once they're done creating this challenge, should definitely try it.
Well, what I was trying to set up Kyle to say was, before he was being so humble, a humble brag, was to be, Kyle's actually a magician, aren't you, Kyle?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That other thing in my locker that I have. Yeah, I've got loads of things in his locker. But, how long have you been practicing magic?
20, I can't do the math. Since on Numeracy Day, since 1997.
1997. 1997. I just finished my GCSEs. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, nice. Right. Yeah. So we got a magic trick for the first one. This is crazy. This one. It's absolutely bananas. So I'm looking forward to going through that. And then challenge 2 is website all about symmetry. Now, do you know what? Carl kind of blew me away with this one. He showed me an example of what he'd made, and he sort of blew me away with it. I never sort of thought about maths from an artistic point of view, and that's what KT Webster is all about. So there we go. Right, let's enough humble bragging. Let's get on. And Carl, you go first, don't you? I suppose.
Yeah, we'll kick it off with the first challenge, and that is a magic trick, and it involves math and perimeters. Yeah. So let's take a look here. I'm on the homepage of Adobe Express. Nice. And the simplest thing is we're just going to start with a flyer. Now, my homepage will look a little different than yours. I apologize for that. But what you want to do is find flyers in graphics. And if you can't find flyer, don't forget about our friend, the purple plus right here. And you can just type FLY, and there it is. We're off to the races. All right. Okay, now for this, what we're going to be doing is creating an instructional sheet for people to follow along and be able to do this magic trick. And all you need is an A4 piece of paper. And we're going to clearly explain how to do this using text, a couple of images, and a title. That's really simple. All right, so we're going to start with the title. And the first thing I want to do is go into my elements. And this will be a little different for you, Don, because I know that icons and everything are all mixed together and blended in the iPad, but it'd be easy to find. For those of you on the browser, just go to icons And under icons, you're going to search for magic hat.
Oh, nice.
And of course, you're going to find all these nice magic hats to choose from. All right. So this one's probably quite nice. Doesn't matter. There are so many options. Okay. But I'm going to get a dark one. So I want one that's got some contrast like this, and just place it there on my canvas. The next thing I'll do before I turn it over to Dom is simply change the color. So instead of using a black hat, I'm just going to select the fill and make it a nice blue color like that. All right, off to you.
Yeah, cool. Okay, do you know what, Carl? Do you know what's really funny and making me laugh is that I think there's something going on either with your sound or my sound that makes it sound like there's a whoopee somewhere.
No way.
Yeah, every now and again it just goes.
I hope it's not my sound. I wonder if I should try and reduce if I'm really loud, I can reduce the volume on my mic.
It's funny. I like it. Right. Let's go to Adobe Express. It was down there. It comes up here. Great. Now you can see up at the top where I'm scrolling across with my finger here. We can go to flyers. You got double tap to edit text. Well, I'm going to single tap it. I'm going to press delete. And you can do this on the browser as well. I'm going to go to add. I'm going to go to design assets because there aren't so many icons anymore in the app because it's being replaced. But here I can just put top hat. Now Carl did his as a blue one. Doesn't really matter what color, I suppose. But this first one is perfect. So tap that. It gives it the blue tick. There we go. Add one. There it is. It's in there.
Perfect.
We will miss this, Kyle. And if you want to change it, I'd go to looks. Oh, look at that. That'll do.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. Right, Carl's got his right in the middle. Ooh.
All right, I'm going to move it up here to the top, and I'm going to size it down. Here we go. Zip. All righty. And let's add some text. We'll go to text, add your text, and I'm going to simply type magic with geometry. Okay. Magic with geometry. A couple things you could do here. You could use a dynamic text like this, or you could resize and change things the way you want without that. If you go to default, it'll just keep it the way it is. The nice thing about the dynamic is it just takes anything you do and makes it all fit nice and neat. And you can look at all your font options here. There are obviously plenty to choose from. This one's nice and bold. Go with that. Magic with geometry. Cool. Size that down. And I'm just going to position it so that it's next to my hat right here. All right. And this is all going to get a little smaller because we're going to have room for our instructions, right? So I'm kind of making this into a little bit of a unit there. It's going to align nicely. And then change the color to red. Magic with geometry. And now I have these looking good. I'll just select the two of them and group them. Okay, I grouped them, and you can ungroup or group right over here. But now I can move them together. So I'll leave them up there for the moment because there's one more thing I need to add to our title here in a second. Should I pass it over to you, Dom?
Add that next thing. That'll be fine.
Sure, here we go. This will make it a little zippier here. Now I've got text already. If I tap once more, I can have that text selected. But since we're already with the text, I'll just tap add your text again. And this time I'm going to write a question. This is the question. Here we go. Question, colon, can you step through a piece of A4 paper?
Impossible.
Now I'm going to select all this text and make it much smaller. There we go. And I want this to appear on 2 lines like so. Okay. Can you step through a piece of A4 paper? The other thing I want to do is align it to the left. So we'll just tap on our justification here and tap left align. Make that a little smaller. And remember, you can, if you wish, change the fonts. We have lots of nice bold ones here. Can you step through a piece of A4 paper? And I'll just use a shape for this. Now, these are really fun. If you haven't tried these, tap on shape. And you can make your text contained inside of a shape, and I like this one because it's so fancy.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you want to adjust things, you can tap on the little sliders, and I'll take the text, use my eyedropper, make it that blue. Now everything looks handy dandy, nice, nice, nice. And let's just arrange that differently. And while I pass it to you, I'm just going to be taking this text and making everything fit nicely in a sort of bar up here at the top of the sheet. Got it?
Yeah, gotcha.
There we go.
Okay, cool. I'll take it over. Right. Okay, so do you know what? Let me get rid of that title just because you can't see. Right. So let me get rid of some of these things. Magic with geometry. How do you do that? So I'm going to go to add. I'm going to go to text. Now, one of the cool things about the iPad is you can use the microphone. What was the thing that we were writing again? Let me have a quick look. Magic.
Can you step through a piece of A4 paper?
Right, yeah. Let's go for the first one. Magic with geometry. Nice. Look at that. And
hey.
Yeah. And then when we go to a line, you can do that magic one and it'll make it look more Carl T. Webster, which is what we all want. And then we're going to pop it at the top here. I'm just going to, yeah, I'm just going to move these over. I suppose, I mean, I could group them. I mean, it's sort of a more efficient way of doing it, I suppose. But let me just see if I can get it right. I don't know. Or maybe let me show you how to do it. So you can tap one, go to edit, and then the last thing on the right-hand side is select multiple. So then select the text. Once you've got those two things selected, you then press next, and then you can group. And now it puts that blue bounding box around it. And then I can pop it there. That'll do. Now I'm just going to put slightly on my keyboard, not keyboard, my iPad, so that you can see everything. And then I've got to do my question. So let's see if this works with the microphone. I don't use it often, so let me try. Question, colon. Can you step through an A4 piece of paper? Boom. Like it. Or not boom. That's better. Then right, let's do some Kyle things. Let's do let's go to a line, left align, cool. And then I could, yeah, I'm trying to get it. Yeah, that's fine like that. And then I could go to I always forget where this is. It's in effect. And then it's shape. And then it puts a shape on it immediately. And actually that green is kind of matching the green in the hat. So that works for me. I'm up for that.
I like that color combo.
Yeah, it works all right, doesn't it? And then, you know, maybe I should make it into a pearl like Carl's is, but actually there like that. I mean, magic with geometry is looking a bit now, actually. Should bring that down.
It'll still be the biggest piece of text on the design, so it's fine if it's smaller.
Yeah, okay. That'll do like that. I'm happy with that. That's good. Let's go to Kyle. Righty.
All right. So we're going to begin now with our graphics, and I'm going to go to elements and then shapes. And one of the first options we have is rectangles, which is what I want. Just tap on the rectangle, and we're going to make this rectangle. We'll just turn it this way, so it's still going to be upright, so longer on the up to down side, but a little bit wider because we want it to feel kind of like the dimensions of a piece of A4 paper. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. Now, I'm going to use an outline and an interior color, or a border, if you will, and a fill. We have them both here. For the fill, I'm just going to take our light blue and make it much, much lighter. Okay, like so. Very, very light. And whatever color you get doesn't matter as long as it's a light color. And then go to the border. And for the border, I just want it to be a color that's different. I already have this nice red. I may as well select that. And over here, I can change the thickness of the border. I'll zoom in so you can see that this is currently quite thick. Don't need it to be like that. I'm going to reduce it by half. I'll make it 6. There we go. There we go. And now what we have is this is representing a piece of A4 paper. But people don't know that, do they? So once again, with my text, add text. And I'll simply write A4 paper.
Nice.
Ta-da. Okay, now there's no mystery. We know what we're looking at. I'll make that smaller and just slide it over here on the piece of paper, and maybe make that bold, okay? Or use the black weight. All right, there we go. So we've got our paper, and we've got a label for the paper. And I think I'll pass it over to you to handle that part, and then we'll move forward.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let me grab. Okay, so I'm going to go to add at the bottom. This is the time to catch up if you're feeling like you're slightly behind. That's absolutely fine. Here on shapes, you can set your rectangle, but you can just put a square in, and then you can change it so it's more rectangular. And then maybe make it smaller. Now, colors. Let's go to color, spelled incorrectly. Right down the bottom. Let's go to fill. Yeah, so I guess you can't just kind of made it a sort of muted color, I suppose. I mean,
Yeah, really anything very, very light.
yeah. Maybe I'll go to custom, and then yeah, I don't know. Maybe something like over here. Yeah, that'll do. Maybe a bit white. That'll do. Yeah. And then I need a border. Oh, let's go to the border. You can see now it's kind of got like a kind of stop sign on it. So give that a tickle. And then red is good because I think it, I mean, why did you choose red? Any particular reason?
Just because it's really clear. And also it's the same color as the title. So I wanted it, my title's red, so I used red. But you could use black as well. Black would be fine.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So you can play around with that. There we go. Cool. That we've got our shape. Right. Oh, we need to do the text. Text. A for paper. This is classic television. And then you see now it's copied the style from before. Not kind of what I want really. So you can see them in effects. If I tap the T under shape, that will take that away. And that's all. And then get in there, and then just size it up. Maybe that's a bit small. There we go. Something like that. There we go. Right. The master.
Okay, so and I think the size you had there was probably pretty good. But let's take a look. We can always make things bigger. No problem. All right, so what we're going to do now is indicate that we're going to be folding the paper in half so that the short ends meet. So folding it from the bottom up to the top, okay? To show that we want to fold something in half, we'll use a line, and it's going to be a dotted line. You'll see that when I go back to elements, one of the things I can do with shapes is if I scroll down a little ways, we find lines and arrows. So we'll view all of those, and we'll just tap on the line right here. It's a solid line. That doesn't look like what we need, but don't worry. I'll move it over here to the center of the paper, and you'll find it'll snap very nicely like that. And then I'm going to, we'll zoom in so you can see this clearly. When I have the line selected, look over here. Under this option here, we have dash line, dash dotted line, dotted line. So I'll do this nice dash dotted line like this.
Yeah.
And this really clearly is indicating to somebody, hey, we're about to fold this paper. But to make it extra clear, and this is what I love about these kinds of things, is you really want to make sure that whoever's following along will be able to understand the directions. Since I already have this text right here, I'll duplicate that text. See this little button right here? Duplicate. Pop that over here. And we're just going to write out, so it's not a mystery what we're doing. Fold paper in half so short ends meet.
Okay.
Nice, clear instructions. I'm going to put that over there. And you'll see why I've positioned it down here in the lower half of the paper in just a second. Now, the last thing I'll do before I pass it to you, Dom, is add a little arrow to help people understand what to do. You can do this in your shapes. In shapes, you can do it in icons. And if you're on the browser, icons is probably the easiest thing. But there are lots of curved arrows in the design elements as well. So I just type curved arrow, select this little guy. And I'm just going to put that over here and use that blue color there
To use
So we see, oh yeah, folding in half. There we go. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, nice. I see you. Right. Shall I get hold?
Go
Okay.
for it.
Go here. Okay. So put line. It took me a while actually to work out what to do with it. Let me delete. So I go to add, and I go, and actually for the iPad, people go to design asset. Click in the box, dotted line, and the dotted line. Did you ever watch Allo Allo when you were younger?
No.
It's a World War. I think it's a World War One or World War Two. It must be World War One, I suppose. And it's about like the French, the German occupation of France. And
I mean, is it a comedy show?
Yeah, and all the French characters are speaking English, and they say good morning. That's what they say.
That's you're making me think of Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah, that's sort of vibe. Okay, right. Now, let's add some text. Now, I suppose the easy way to do it is select the A4 paper one, go to edit and duplicate.
Yeah.
Oops. Let's go. Let's cancel on that because I didn't want to move it to that size. And then just what do I have to write in here again?
Fold paper in half so short ends meet.
Fold paper in half. Hang on.
Oh, Zap.
It's because it needs to be in English and it was in Spanish. Hang on. Fold paper in half so short ends meet. Nice. Good job.
Brilliant.
Today. Yeah, there we go.
Excellent. There it is. There it is.
Fold paper in half so short ends meet. And then the arrow, yeah. So again, I'm going to press done in the bottom right, and then maybe I need to go to design assets again. Every time Cart goes for like an icon or something like that, you are going to find that in design assets on the iPad. Okay. Let's do something like this one. Add it, and then spin me around. You spin me right round,
right round, baby, right round like a record, baby, round, 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 round.
Lost a cultural moment, lost on so many young people. Right. Something like that. That'll do. Is that any good?
The teachers know what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Let's go back to the master. Go for it.
Okay, here we go. This is fun. Watch this. We take this rectangle, duplicate it, and just drag it over here. Okay, you say, oh no, that text is in the way. No, it's not. Watch this. I'm going to drag from the bottom handle up halfway.
Oh.
Because we folded our paper in half, and then here with our dotted line, I duplicate that, and we just slide it over here so it aligns with the bottom edge. And the great thing about this is the person following along will understand, oh, I see, because these were in the same place, and I see the top half. The instructions are clear.
Nice.
Alrighty. Yes. Now, if you want to make it extra clear, I know you do, tap on the rectangle, duplicate it again, okay, and drag it behind the first rectangle. All right, now, so it's behind this one. Now watch this. I'm going to move it over here to the left a little bit, and then make it much smaller, like that, and a little tiny bit shorter. Let me zoom in. You can see this really clearly, what's about to happen. This is pretty cool. We're going to rotate it.
Oh.
Okay, and then I just position it here.
Oh, hello.
See that?
Yeah.
So really subtle, but it's just people who are following along then can be understanding like, oh, yeah. There's that bottom little half there that you folded. So I understand now what happened. So that just really hopefully explains very clearly. If you want, you can even duplicate the little arrow, pop it over here, make it a little smaller or something, just to really hammer home what we've done so everybody understands the instructions.
Nice. All right, let me have a go at that. Right, so I put this fold paper in half just down the bottom here because I know what Carl wants me to do here. Select the A4 paper, duplicate. You can see it straight out there. Drag it over. Right, so yeah, I think it's quite important to keep it sort of aligned, I suppose. And then I'll pop it. Something on the iPad here. It's not telling me where it snaps halfway. I can roughly do it. That's fine.
Yeah, just you can use your eyeballs.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, boss. Right. Now I'm gonna have to zoom in here because I'm struggling a bit. There we go. I've got it. Okay. And again, duplicate. Okay. Now it's giving me one. It does have the little crosshairs. You can see the sort of 4 arrows there. And then bring that. Yeah, that's about right. That'll be fine. Now, this is where the magic happens, the Kyle magic. Let's tap that. Then we duplicate it. And then I'm just going to, let's bring it right down first. And then, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I maybe need to get some art direction.
There you go.
So
that's there. Yeah. Yep.
Right. And then this is where the magic happens. You pop it behind. You go. Hey!
Ta-da!
It may be a little bit, maybe it's a little bit too.
Yeah, you can adjust that rotation a little bit and then get it down in the corner. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Then duplicate that arrow. Yeah. I mean, these are the instructions written by a goddess. Look at these.
It's good to know how to write, and how to show instructions using a combination of text and graphics because, these things can be handy someday.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Let's go back. Right.
So
let's get
what we're going to
here, I think.
What's that?
Let's get speedy.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this little rectangle we just made that represents half the paper. I'll duplicate that and make it over. We're going to pull it over here, and this is going to get much bigger because now we're going to show what to do with this half of the paper. Okay, so we're kind of zooming in on it. I'll change the border thickness back to something reasonable. This time we'll put it to be like 8. All right. So we're now going to be taking the paper and we're going to be slicing it up, cutting it up. All right. And I want people to understand again that this is the front side and that there is another side behind it. So remember, we have another little rectangle there. If I duplicate that, I can pull it back here. And this will just reinforce people understand where they're cutting because it's really important that they know where to cut. And it has to be done on the folded side. And that's why we're doing this. So I'm still adding that little piece there. If you want, you could take this whole thing, duplicate it, and then just make sure you change the borders so they're not super thick. Okay.
I'm finding that on mine already.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah. And if you want to be extra clear, which is never a bad thing, you could also, if you want, duplicate this line. And that really makes it, there's no mystery here. We are definitely using the folded side at the bottom. People can see that. And there we go. All right, so there's that big sheet of paper. Now comes the part where you're going to want to pause the video because, or you can look at the website that we have where we've given you a diagram because you're going to see what the pattern is for the lines.
That's true.
All right, so I'll do the first lines, which are the most important to start with, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so
people know what we're talking about. This
here we go.
Hang on, Carl. I've just popped up on the screen the bit that the graphic you're talking about. This is what we're doing here. Okay, this is the bit we're going for. Right.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. Now it's quite simple. I'm actually just going to use a line and can just continue to duplicate it over and over again.
Okay.
And here's the line. There's a regular old line. All right. Make it a bit thicker. I'll make it 8 pixels so we can really see it. There we go. And I'm going to use a different color. So I'm going to select a nice bold bluish purple here. There we go. Blue. And I'm going to rotate it and put it down here. Make it a little shorter. So you want to leave some space, a decent amount of space up here at the top of the rectangle and come all the way down to the bottom. Okay. There we go. And this will be the same over on the right side of the paper. So just kind of estimate, look how much space I have here. Take this line, duplicate it, slide it on over to the other side. And the last thing, duplicate it once more. And we're going to make it a horizontal line and then put one in between these two lines. So that's like a football goal, like a rugby. Okay, so that's the thing we want to create. Or like a big wide letter H with a low crossbar.
Right. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. So do you want to try that part?
Yeah, let me yeah, okay, cool. Let me, so I'm kind of here. I'm just going to show you the process I went through. So I went to add, and actually for this one, you can, the best line is in shapes. Actually, it doesn't have much anymore, but it still has shapes. You can search for line, or it might come up right in the middle there. Tap that, go to add one. Right, it's gone in there. It's gone in there in the green. Don't want to do that. So let's go to color and go to the black, and also go to border. And then I'm just going to bring that down. That looks fine. 16 is fine. Right. Now, what Kyle did was he selected it and then he rotated it. Now, it will tell you when it's perpendicular. So let's do that. And then bring it down a bit. You won't kind of know what size to bring it down to until it's actually on the piece of paper itself. Roughly about there. Looks okay then, Kyle? Something like that?
Yeah, that looks perfect.
Yeah. And then, so it's dead easy then because you can duplicate and then roughly eyeball it so you got it on the other side. And then
the good thing about this exercise, these distances don't have to be perfect or anything.
Yeah, because this is where you're actually going to cut with scissors. Is that correct, Ben? Is that correct? Oh, yeah.
You're going to be cutting with scissors. These are the three lines you're going to cut first from the bottom of the folded part where the paper folds through both sides.
Through both sides. That's really important, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Everything you're doing here, you keep the paper together, folded, and cut through both sides.
Gotcha. Go on.
All right. Now the last little bit. So I already have these lines. Just take any one of them and duplicate with these vertical lines. And I'm going to make it shorter. And what you want is you're going to have a sort of a back and forth kind of accordion thing happening. So I'm going to have one line here, duplicate it. We're going to have 4 of these. 2, 3, 4. So we have, and I can slide these over a little bit so they're pretty, evenly spaced amongst themselves. Okay, but again, does not have to be perfect. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. And then I can take 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to select them together. If you want, just take any old one. And you're going to put it down. I'll get to touch this this crossbar line.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see how we're creating sort of a zigzaggy kind of a thing. All right, and there you go. You can wander through there like a maze. And now the thing about it is, I like to take these lines, and I like them to be these last few lines I just drew. Right, I like them to be a different color, just so that I can, in the instructions, call out that these are going to be cut second.
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah. Right. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
All right. So do you want to give that a shot?
Yeah, I will, yeah. Just give me 1 sec. Right. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to select one. I'm going to duplicate it. This is going to be the one, the kind of maze that we go through. Now I'll hopefully get the size that I want first, and it's got to come down from the top. Right. So I'm going to put that one in there. Now I think what I'll do is I'll change now. Change that one to red. That'll do.
Yeah.
Blue, actually. I think, otherwise I'm scared the car's going to tell me off. Right, then done. Because everything needs to look good, hey? That's why Carl looks so good. Look at him. Damn, good Carl. And then go to edit, and then we go to duplicate. And then maybe I'll put it down the other side. and then duplicate and bring it that way, and duplicate and bring it that way. So I've got my 4 roughly in the right place. I think I'm happy with that. And then I've got to do the mazy bit. So again, just take one, duplicate. Now I guess you won't need to change the size on this because that'll work out quite nicely. So there we go. Yeah. Duplicate them all. And then so it's 4 on the top and 3 kind of on the bottom. That one. There we go. That's roughly what we're going for, isn't it?
Perfect, man.
Yeah, nice. What do you got?
So what I've done is I've just added this little text down here. I just duplicated this text, right, and I said cut the blue lines first, then cut the green lines. So there's no question about what we're doing there. And this is all just part of that. You know, you want to make sure people understand the directions. And just to make it extra clear with elements, I can go over to icons, and you'll be able to do this with design elements on the iPad, and search for scissors. Oh, and we'll get all kinds of nice scissors. Just pop a little scissors there, make it a little smaller. Yeah. And, you know, so people just understand, oh, now we're doing a cutting thing, you know, just pop that down there like that. Yeah. And we're almost done. So the next thing, I'll just finish it off here.
Sorry to interrupt. What I really like about yours is that in your instructions, you've actually color coded them for like what you need to cut first. I think that's cool. That's clever. Yeah, that's just to help, you know, it really makes it clear. And that the last thing to do to finish it off is just check that text again. And I'm just going to write one more little finishing thought here so people understand what to do. Carefully open the paper and you will be able to step through it easily like a, whoops, Luke, I'm your father, like a hula hoop, exclamation point. And here's the math behind this. This works because, whoops, your cutting changed the perimeter of the paper. All right, and that is our last little thought there. So I'll center that on the paper. Very cool. And that's it. Yeah, nice. So the next thing they need to do is actually get a piece of paper and do that for real, isn't it? It's really cool. So you first challenge somebody and say, hey, I bet I can step through a piece of A4 paper. And they say, no way. And then they do this and they say, wow. Yeah, it's a really nice one. I didn't think it would be possible. Let me get that last bit done. Right. So what I realized on mine was that I'd sort of run out of space towards the bottom. So check this cool trick. So I'm going to select that, cut the blue lines first. And then I'll go to select multiple. See, I've made it gray in the bottom. And then with the screen like this, I'm taking my finger. I really want to see those fingers. There we go. and then I can drag from the side. And you can see it's dragging this big box over all of those things. And then you can select, and then you go to next, right? And then you can move all of these things at the same time. Yeah. And that gives me some space at the bottom. So I'm going to click done. So let me just show like design assets, scissors. Whoa, these are mad. Massive. Okay. Well, not what I was kind of going for, but hey, I'll take what I can get. And then maybe I'll pop that there. Something like that. Like completely bananas. They remind me of my mom's sewing scissors. Cut the blue lines first, then cut the green lines. Actually, mine aren't blue. My instruction is incorrect here. Yeah, the colors. And then cut the blue lines. You got to be careful on this, otherwise people will do the wrong thing. Cut the black line first, then cut the blue lines. There we go. Very, very important. And then I can take that piece of text there. You can see it. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this so we can see it better. Right, take that one, duplicate it. And we're going to tell everybody why it's such a maths genius trick. Right. So actually just double tap it. Ooh. Tell me what your text was again, Carl.
Sure, you can shorten it to carefully open the paper and step through it like a hula hoop.
Like a hula hoop. Hey! Oh, and then I just used your voice while you were talking. And then I can also do it works because you are changing the perimeter. Done. Nice.
Perfecto.
Yeah, and then you can pop it down there. I kind of want to censor it in the middle. Is it going to give me that option? No, it's not really doing that. But
You can eyeball it.
Yeah. And then you bring it out. Do you know what I might do, I think? So that I can get Kyle Brownie points. We all like Kyle Brownie points. I'm gonna put a shape because mine's not quite as beautiful as yours, I think. So let's go to where is it? I always get this effects. And then if I tap shape, yes, there you go. Nice. Can align it to the center, something like that. Nice. There we go. And so you're all done. You can send this. You can challenge someone in another class with it. That'd be cool. And then so I'm going to download it by pressing the arrow in the top right. And then it says download. Yes, thank you. It's going to go to my camera roll. There we go. And then you can also press the up arrow in the top right. And then press share. And then it will give all crazy options. But copy link is the one if I want to send it to somebody else. Carl, show us that one. Just show us that.
Sure. Download here if you want a PNG, which is a graphic which you can then print. Another way to do it is to share right here. And of course, as Dom just showed, you can copy a link for people who want to edit it, or you can publish it to the web, which will allow you to have a link that you can share with everybody and they can see it online.
Yeah, nice. Nice work.
There we go.
Done. Good work. Let's have a look at where we are next. Right, this is this mine? Yeah, something like that. Right. Yeah, next one. Challenge number 2. Now don't forget, if you need a bit of time, that's fine. Just you pause it and all the rest of it. We're on challenge number 2 now. If you want to do this another day, that's fine as well. Did talk to some teachers this week and they said, hey, like 1 hour 15 is quite a long time. It's like, it's fine, just break it up, do challenge 1, give it a rest, and then come back another day and do challenge 2 if you want to. Right, so challenge number 2 is create a website about symmetry found in nature. And Carl's put this handy button in there. Use this text to build your site. So if I click that, I think it's going to open. Yeah, it's going to open, but it won't show on the screen right now. I'm going to open that. I'm going to share this tab instead. That's better. And then Carl's put all of this stuff in there. I mean, I think the image search is going to be the big one here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all sorts of different types. I love it. Right. Okay. Let's get cracking then. I think.
Alrighty.
Back and Kyle center stage where he should be, his spiritual home. Off you go.
So remember again, if you are using the student version of Express, and you will see on the homepage the option for a web page will be one of the larger squares up at the top of the page. Web page is what you want, and that's really easy to spot. And if you can't see it, don't worry. You can again use the plus and type web page. You'll find it. We're going to create a web page. We're going to create from scratch, and this is symmetry in nature. So once I have my blank sheet here, I'm just going to type symmetry in nature. That's my title. And if you want to add a subtitle, of course, you're welcome to. You could put your name maybe. But all of this looks a little bit bland. We'd probably like to have a photo back there. And I think it's nice to use a photo of butterflies since there's such great examples of bilateral symmetry in nature. Butterflies. Let's see what we come up with here.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, all kinds of pretty images. Very nice, very nice. If you have one that shows a butterfly more from sort of the top view, that's good because it is a great representation of that symmetry. So if you find one that has butterflies from the top, then maybe you want to use that. Or you can use a completely different one, like a leaf or something like that.
Yeah.
Here's a nice one.
Beautiful.
Whoops, hold on a second. I'm just going to refresh for a moment. Sometimes what happens with Express when I'm doing a bunch of projects back to back is I have to refresh before I can add a picture. So let me try again. Butterflies still there. There's that yellow butterfly I was looking for, sort of golden color. Where'd he go? Oh, this one's fine. Uh-oh, still not working.
Okay, do you want to?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, nice.
Ah, took a minute.
Yeah.
All right, symmetry in nature. And I'll skip the subtitle. There we go. All right, so Dom, what do the people need to do on the iPad?
Yeah, okay. Let's go from the start then. So we're here, and I'm in. If I go to my Spark page, I can tap that one. So title, symmetry in nature. And then I put my name here, Dom Trainer. Hey, give Trainer a capital letter. There we go. That's better. Right, now click anywhere or tap anywhere in the gray and go to photo. Now what you'll see is that you can see my daughter taking photos on here as well. I've got a butterfly. So how did I get that? So one of the problems with the app at the moment is that actually you don't get any free photos because it's all changing over. So what I did was I went to Google and I put butterfly symmetry, like photo or photography. It can be any of those.
Perfect.
And then you go to your images and you can just go through. I mean, photography, but that one is amazing. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it's incredible. Like, just how does nature do that? It's completely bananas.
That's amazing. Look at that. Beautiful.
Tap and hold on there, saving photos. Because you're using it for educational use, you're allowed to use photos of other people's. You see, it's not for commercial use. You're allowed to use photos from other people. So let's tap on there, go to photo, and it's in my recents. There we go. Wow, what a way to kick it off. And then it says scroll to start writing your story, and these are the options that come up. These are the options that come up. Do you want me to carry on, Carl?
Yeah, let's go for it. The next option is you want to do a split screen.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's go to split layout. You see that one down there, split layout? It's just on far right hand side. So you get an image on the left. You can put your text on the right. So if I go back to Chrome here and I go back to symmetry in nature, Carl's put a thing in here. Symmetry can be found throughout the natural world, both in animals and plants. Step outside, discover that symmetry is everywhere around you. Copy. Most commonly found types of symmetry in nature are bilateral symmetry. You see, this is where Carl's getting all technical. Talk to us about radial and bilateral symmetry.
Yeah, bilateral symmetry where something is basically mirrored across, one side, and then radial where it radiates out of a center point.
Right. Okay. And here, like, what kind of image are you thinking on the left-hand side?
Yeah, this could be really just select anything you like that's symmetrical, either bilateral or radial. Anything. It could be a seashell. It could be a leaf, like a maple leaf, or it could be a starfish.
Let's go nature, symmetry, photo, something like that. Ooh.
Oh, nice. You're going to get all kinds of good options.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think, I mean, when you start looking at it, it's just...
Look at that zebra. That's great.
Example. It just kind of blew my mind because I suppose I've lost that curiosity to look at things and just say, oh, wow, that is just blows my mind. Why is everything in nature almost everything in nature almost symmetrical? Saving photos.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's a kiwi.
Any semi-complex life form is going to have some symmetry. It's really interesting, isn't it? Because only the simplest, most basic life forms like sea sponges and things like that are asymmetrical.
Right. Yeah. Well, let me do some formatting in here. So I'm just gonna put my cursor in front of you because I think this is the thing that really sort of got me, I suppose, is that I wanted to make sure you need only step outside and you will quickly discover that symmetry is everywhere around you. And I think that feels to me like one of the most important things to put in there. So I changed that format to the quote function. It could be header
Nice.
do, that's fine as well. but I'm just trying to make that Kyle has nailed that in terms of you just need to step outside and you'll see it all around you. Right. So I guess when we go to our next section here, maybe I mean, what I might do here is go straight into a glide. Think about that.
Yeah, glide shows the perfect way to showcase these two forms that are most commonly the bilateral and the.
Yeah. Okay. So what I might do here is just copy bilateral. Oh no! Come on. Selecting text on the iPad is an interesting hobby. Yeah, it's not gonna let me. Oh, there we go. I got it right. There we go. I'm gonna copy that, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Googler, and then I'm gonna search copy text, allow paste. Okay. Oh, am I still? You can still see, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Right. So bilateral. The reason why I want to get an image is because I'm going to put it into my glide show now. Bilateral symmetry. Is this one bilateral symmetry?
No, that's more radial.
That's radial, isn't it? Bilateral symmetry. I mean, I think the butterfly is kind of like the classic example, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, even any animal face, or us. We're
that's a good one. Bilateral symmetry, tiger. That would be
tiger face is great. There you go.
This is really good fun. Okay. Like that. Amazing. Even the tongue is symmetrical. That's bananas.
He's been in the peanut butter.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other one I'll tell you while I'm here, I'll do radial symmetry. And then I'll have my two images. And if you're in the browser, that's fine. You can oh, look at that. Radial symmetry. Yeah.
Wow, some kind of crazy sea anemone or something. I can't tell. Or is it a plant? I don't know.
Who knows? Saving photos. Let's do that. I mean, there are others, I suppose. What is that?
Yeah, jellyfish, and things like that, and different kinds of. Yeah, it's awesome. That's a cool sea spell.
Yeah. So let's go back in here, and so now when we scroll down, we can go to glide show, and now we'll start with bilateral symmetry, which will be the tiger, and we'll go for radial symmetry, which will be this one here. What did we say this was? Like some kind of seashell.
It definitely is an underwater creature. I want to say like an anemone, sorry, but I'm not sure.
Right. So we've got them in here. You see, the glide show is great because it glides from one section to the next. Very nice. Okay.
Fancy.
Yeah, fancy pants. And then let's go to bilateral symmetry. So what I'm going to do is get all of this, copy that, bilateral symmetry. Press the plus, go to text, paste it in here. Now, we could actually put some more in, couldn't we? Because what you've done in yours is you've actually taken these sections out and put their own picture in there, haven't you?
Yeah, you can do that, or
I'll try that.
I think, and the students can just add as many as they like for each of these sections, and then just type them out. And and in the process, everything you're seeing Dom do, by the way, is exactly the same as what you do on the website. There's no difference. So if you're using the browser, and if you're on a computer building a site, it looks the same, it behaves the same. You can make these as big, these web pages as big as you like, or you can keep them kind of simple like ours, but plenty of room to add.
Yeah, I mean, I think did it paste the text in? Yeah, great. And then these titles, what I always say is that choose a certain something for your title. I mean, I do like the quote function. I think it makes things look nice. And
yeah, it does.
Boxes by tapping or clicking and just dragging. But once you've decided, the quote function is going to be that's what I'm going to use for my titles, make them all like that. That's the thing.
Consistency
of design. That's one thing that I've really learned from Kyle. And Right. So you can see it says leaves and seashells. Right. So let's go and find some leaves and seashells. Let's do that. So if I go here, and then you see this one's a leaf.
Four-leaf clover is a kind of radial, and it's bilateral. And if you think about it.
Yeah, that is true. Let's grab it. That's a good talking point. So let's do that one as a leaf. And then we've also got the starfish.
Yeah, another nice one.
Yeah, radial symmetry, starfish. And I think actually I'm just gonna. I don't want it to have a. I don't want it to have sort of. I don't want it to be diagrammatic. I want it to just. I want us to be amazed by the things in nature. So I'm just gonna grab that one.
That's
nice.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it is gorgeous, isn't it?
Have you ever seen a starfish? Have you ever gone snorkeling anywhere?
Yeah, a few times, I guess. Not loads. I haven't done loads of snorkeling, but yeah, they're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I've done only a few trips, but a couple of times I've seen some. It's amazing to be underwater and really see these things in person. Beautiful. There's so much color under the water.
Yeah, true that. Right, so let's so now that we've got a couple of examples, we've got a leaf here for bilateral symmetry, which is also radial symmetry, and then we've got radial symmetry for starfish as well. So let's tap on the photos, go to edit photos, and now you can put your photos in there. Now the problem with this is that we actually want the four-leaf clover to be up the order. It needs to be second. So you can see the arrow here.
Yeah.
Move it backwards. Right, good. Now I can click done. And now in our glide show, you see. So now here for leaves, for example, I can cut that. I'm also going to just delete seashells as well, because don't necessarily need that here. And then the box will just, accommodate that. And then you can go down to the next one. And then maybe I'll move the box over to this side, or actually keep it in the middle.
There you go.
Text, and then paste that in. I mean, it's actually not a very big box, is it? So maybe that the problem with the center, keeping the box in the center, is that often it actually does. So drag it over to the side, leaves, that's fine, and then keep going. Radial symmetry, certain kinds of flowers and animals, starfish, jellyfish. So I've moved the position of that. That's okay. I'll cut this one. Let me move the box back over to the right again. So because I really want to focus on the images, because I think the images are doing the lifting. Paste that in there. Animals such as starfish or jellyfish. Nice.
Very nice.
People can put in as many as they like, can't they, if they find more?
Oh, sure. Of course. These are so fun to look at. It's beautiful.
Yeah, radial symmetry, bilateral symmetry, good stuff. Right, if you scroll back to the top, you can change things. You can see the little magic wand. It's the same on the browser as well. And then you can go through. I mean, nightcap might be a good one. I don't use it that often, but actually, I think it's probably quite good to highlight the photos in this way. I think the dark color. What's the deal with that? The dark color kind of, does that make the images pop more? How does that work?
I think when you've got that, there is a nice separation between the images and then the copy. So, it depends on the photos you're using, if they have a white background or they don't. But just this, to me, this is a good theme. Which one did you select?
It was nightcap.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it was one. Yeah, I think the Wesley one's pretty good as well. And once you've done that, you can also preview your work by pressing the play. On the browser, you've got present or you've got preview. The present is probably one which will allow you to see it in all its glory and use your left and right arrows to move the screen up and down between sections. But here we go. Very nice. There's one. And then when you get to the glide show, you see what it will do is the photos will. Is that a Ken Burns effect?
Ken Burns. Yes.
Yeah. Because the photos are moving, they're kind of being zoomed in and out as you go through them, you see. And then good old
from his famous PBS documentary series.
Right. You see, and it's just that just kind of gives it a little bit of interest. It keeps were interested, I suppose.
Yeah, because those documentaries used a lot of still photos from 100 years ago, and there was no video, so they would use that zooming effect, and it became very popular.
Right. And he named it after himself. Good lad. And then to share it, you can press the arrow with the box over there, create a public link. There we go. And it's the same on the iPad. Sorry, on the iPad, on the browser as well. Just press share in the top right, and you'll be able to put that where you want, send it to whoever you like. All right. Yeah, I'll just wait. That I'll make sure that goes. There we go. And see, if I press that, it's going to open in my browser now, and I'm a fully published author. There we go. Very nice. Beautiful.
Magic.
Yeah.
More magic. We had magic at the beginning and magic at the end.
Nicely done. Okay, let's just go over very quickly. Hope you paused when you wanted. That is good etiquette. You pause whenever you want. You can do the second challenge whenever you want as well. Number 2, claim your swag. You'll be getting an email around about 4 o'clock today. When I manage to do that, get an email to your swag. So get your challenges done. Or if you want to do it another day to complete your second challenge, that's fine. And don't forget, if you teach other people, you can get VIP swag as well. Good stuff. Thank you, Kyle T. Webster, for putting that together. Genius, as always.
Thank you so much, DT Rayner. And I hope everybody out there enjoyed it. Please do try that first challenge and give it a go. Try it. You know what? You'll fool your parents if you do it. You'll fool your parents.
Yeah. Do you know what? And, have I got any banners on here? Yeah, I have. Hey, listen, if you can, we would love it if you could tag us in those. If you do actually do it, and get your teachers to email us. If you send us a photo of that on one of the socials, we would love to see that. It'd be amazing, and we'll be able to send out some special prizes. It'd be cool. Love to see people getting perimetered up. Great stuff. Thank you very much, Carl. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Take care, everybody. Cheers.